Assalamualaikum and hello doctor. So my name is Muhammad Zikry and I'm from group 12 for DSA, and today me and my group member KHAIRUL are going to show our linked list implementation to our case study, which is the hostel management system. So let's begin. So first of all, our assignment, we were required to implement a linked list in our system, which is the hostel management system that we created from assignment 1, which is we inserted sorting techniques and searching techniques in our system. So now we are required to implement a linked list, and from our 5 classes that we have, which are these, which is the user, student, staff, rooms, and registered, which are all of them are using arrays, and we decided to use the registered class to implement a singly linked list into it. So in our registered header file, which is right here, we implemented a registered pointer next into our public class. So this is a pointer, it points to the next node in the linked list. So we also created a new class, which is called class list, which has all of our functions for our linked list, and we decided to use 4 functions, which is insert node, find node, and lead node, and display list. So I'm going to show you some of the functions from this list class that we have implemented here. So what from we know is that a singly linked list is a series of nodes, and they consist of at least a piece of data and a pointer to the next node in the list. So that's why we have the head as the first node and null as the last node for a singly linked list. Therefore, after we declared the node in our registered class, which was registered pointer next, and now we have this function called insert node. This insert node will locate a position to insert the element, and it will allocate the memory for the new node and point it to its successor, and it will point the new node's predecessor to also the new node. And the real reason we are using linked lists instead of arrays is because compared to arrays, pointer implementations, which are linked lists, uses as much space as is needed for the elements currently on the list, but it requires space for the pointers in each cell. So technically it's more efficient, and yeah. So in this insert node function, we can see that we have all the parameters that we have needed in the function, and it will register a new node into the registered class. So it will create a new node and it will assign it to head, and if head equals null, then the new node will set next to the next head, and it will traverse the whole node till the end of the list, and it will also update the current nodes when more nodes are inserted into the function. So how we implemented the insert node function is that after a student is registered, after they entered the ID and the name and all that, it will display the students list, and it will also insert a node, which technically inserts an index to the registered student's name. So KHAIRUL will show how it will look like in the demo. So this is where the code lies of the insert node function for the linked list. And to continue with all the other functions, I will let KHAIRUL explain the rest. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Johanna. My name is KHAIRUL with group member with Haziq Zikry. Okay, now I would like to continue for function find node and function delete node, and also function for display list. Each function also use a linked list class, which is different from array. Okay, so now I would like to show how the find node will be executed. This is the menu for staff menu, and has number 1 student detail for find node, And number 2 is remove student from register room for delete node. Okay, so if I choose one to find the student details, and then I require to choose the index from 1 to 3. Example, I would like to pick number 2. It will show KHAIRUL IZZAT, and it takes this from the linked list in the linked list class, which is in find node. Okay, so the current node will be set a value of head, and previous node will be set to null, and then check the condition. If the head is null, it will show list empty, which is if the list is not the head is nothing, and it will show list empty. While if the current node is not null, the current node will get the next of the node. And let's say if the index I input more than 3, it will show the index out of range. So from this, it will show all the detail from ID, get direct ID, get direct room number, get direct name, levels, and category, like it display on the terminal. Okay, for student details output, we are still using array of class for students class. This one we are not implement the linked list, because we just implement the linked list for registered class. So to get the detail, we call from students object, and the array of info of the user, and display student from students class. This is the display student function from student class. Okay, that's all for find node. And now I would like to show the function of delete node. Okay, let's say I want to remove student from the registered room in linked list, and choose index to delete. So I would like to delete index 1, which is I want to remove Zikry from the registered student of the hostel. And then Zikry will be deleted from the registered array or linked list. This is because from registered list object, call the delete node function into the linked list class. Basically, delete node is same like find node, which is we searching for the nodes that user input, and when we found the correct node, it will delete the current node. And let's say if we try to delete number 3, which is out of the index, it will show the index is out of range. And let's say we remove all of the students, it will show in the list empty. So this is how the find node and delete node function execute. So that's all from our group, which is hotel management system that has been implemented of linked list. which is we add a linked list class and apply in the registered class. The registered class only store ID students, name, phone number, and the number of the room, the levels, and the category of the room. Okay, that's all for our group presentation. Thank you, Dr. Johanna, for listening.